Welcome to this hypnosis session for peak performance, high performance, and to achieve even more, even if you're already achieving so much. And if you want to accelerate your peak performance, then you can reach out to me at alex@athensnlp.com. For now, though, find a comfortable spot, sitting or lying down. And I'm sure today you'll be successful. And I'm sure you're wondering exactly what will happen. And it's a good thing to wonder as you close your eyes, because a person, when doing hypnosis, often closes their eyes, and that's when they start to create a resourceful, altered state of trance where they'll be able to connect to all the resources, insights inside of them, so they can achieve peak performance. And that means that you can. I'm sure you can. As you're sitting here or lying here, listening to me, hearing the sound of my voice, and you're breathing, I'm sure you are, aren't you? Breathe all the way into your stomach, and your stomach goes out on the in-breath, and it goes in on the out-breath. That's right, you're doing excellent so far. And I know this maybe is new to you, or maybe you've done hypnosis before, or maybe you're learning. I'm sure you're learning. Hypnosis is all about learning and gaining new insights, because you're building rapport, you're building a connection, communication with the unconscious mind. So keep focusing on your breathing, because the more you focus on your breathing, the more you create that relaxation, that resourceful state, that trance, that wave of relaxation going over you, through you. It feels so good, doesn't it? The more you create this, the more communication you'll have with your unconscious mind, so that peak performance in the future is easy. It's effortless. And you can relax even more. All you have to do is focus on seeing yourself relaxing, hearing the sounds of relaxation, and creating that feeling. Because I'm sure you can even think of a time that you've relaxed before. And that's one of the easiest ways to relax. I was speaking to someone recently who is accelerating their peak performance. And they told me, all I have to do is think of a time before when I relaxed. And that helps me relax and achieve peak performance. So think of a time now, and imagine what you see during this time. Imagine what you hear during this time. And imagine yourself just feeling that relaxation as you create it now, just like you felt it before now. And the more you think about this relaxation, the more you can relax as you go deeper. And think about this time Where were you? What were you doing? What were you seeing? What were you hearing? What were you feeling? What was in front of you? What was behind you? What was above you? What was below you? What were you saying to yourself? What was to the left? What was to the right? And just allow that relaxation to go deeper with each word that I say, with each breath that you take. And maybe you relax as I say the words, or maybe you relax even more with the space in between the words. Allow your relaxation to fill your whole body and fill the room around you. It's a room of relaxation. Let it fill however much space you want it to fill up, because you're about to learn so much more. And I was saying earlier, the more you relax, I don't think I finished though what I was going to say. The more you relax, the easier it is to access the unconscious mind. And the wonderful thing about the unconscious mind is it's like the most powerful supercomputer we have here on the planet. All peak performers use the unconscious mind. And the wonderful thing about the unconscious mind is it's like a database. So when you want to have communication with something within the unconscious mind, you click the button. Just like you click the button to go into your computer or on your phone online, and it searches for you. The unconscious mind is the domain of your emotions, and it stores your memories. So any time that you want to bring up a memory of peak performance in the future, you'll just click that button. And you'll think, wow, that was easy. I can have peak performance then at any time. You certainly can, because you are a peak performer. You see yourself as a peak performer. You hear yourself as a peak performer. People say you sound like a peak performer. And you feel like a peak performer. And there's two other important things that you want to have. You want to have the energy of a peak performer. And you want to believe you are a peak performer. And the way to do this is every single day, when you wake up, or any time during the day, you need to design something in your mind. Peak performers call this thinking time. And you can do this right now to practice. Design something in your mind that you want. To make it easy, have it be a thing or an experience. Just a goal. And I already know you're a peak performer, so it's easy for you to create and achieve goals. So think of something you want, and think of when you want to achieve it by. And think of the last thing you have to do so you know you have it. And put some sounds to that. And then intensify the feelings to that. And then move that picture on your mental screen in the most ideal spot so it's easy for you to gain momentum. Good. Now this is the fun part, because you want to find clarity and seek clarity. So now that this vision of your goal, the sounds of your goal, the feelings of your goal are installed in this supercomputer, you can ask yourself now, how can I do this more easily and effortlessly? And ask this for a few minutes now. Have this conversation with the unconscious mind, the supercomputer, the database. It's almost like it's a business meeting. And tell the unconscious mind, after you know how easy and effortless this is, tell the unconscious mind to deliver the results. Have the unconscious mind deliver the results. Because success follows clarity, and same with peak performance. Peak performance follows clarity. And to get clarity, you communicate with the unconscious mind. How can you do this more easily and effortlessly? Ask this. How can you do this more easily and effortlessly? Because it's installed in your mind, and your unconscious mind is the goal getter. So as long as it has clarity, it will get this for you. And imagine if it gets it for you now, it could get something new the next day, and the next week, and the next month, and the month after that, and more months after that, a year after that, years after that, and your success, your clarity, your peak performance, it compounds, and it keeps going, and you're more clear. You believe even more in yourself. Things are easier and effortless. That's the thing, when you put the effort in your mind like this, pushing yourself to new levels of peak performance doesn't get harder. It gets easier. That's what peak performers say. Wow, I didn't think it would be this easy. I used to have the belief that this was going to be hard. Now I have the belief that clarity, success, and peak performance is easy. It's effortless. And that's the thing. You can create success over and over and over again. Because once you've achieved success once, your unconscious mind wants it more. Because your unconscious mind, it generalizes. Meaning once you have success in one area of life, it wants it in every area of life. And the unconscious mind, it's going to act on the principle of least effort. So it doesn't even want you to put in that much effort. So as long as you're clear on what you want and specific, your unconscious mind will put in just enough effort for you to get it. It's almost like when someone is buying something from you, you don't give them all the details. You give them just enough information for them to feel good so that they want to purchase and pay for it now. Because I'm sure as a peak performer, people pay you now. And money is coming in easily and effortlessly. So if you can create success in the past and in now, how do you think you can create it in the future? All the peak performers, they know that there's an easy process to follow. You only have to ask yourself a few questions. So this is something else that you can do throughout the day. You're going to practice now just like you practiced something before. So when you go to practice, it's easy. It's effortless for you. This is so success feels automatic and it looks and sounds natural. So if you were to know, what is a success that you had in the past? If you were to know, think of that right now. And just take whatever your unconscious mind brings up. Because remember, all you have to do is click a button and it's easy. And then you can ask yourself, when did you decide to create this successful event? If you were to know, when did you decide to create this? And whatever the supercomputer says, trust it. Because remember, it's like having a business meeting. And business meetings are successful when you have trust. And now, ask yourself, answer this question. Trust your unconscious mind to know the answer. What can you learn now so you can have success over and over and over and over now? What can you learn? And these learnings, you can have them have the words I am, so they're completely about you, so you can really see yourself having this success. You can hear yourself and feel yourself having it. Or you can use the words I have to learn whatever it is you need to learn. So let these learnings come to you, because they can. They will. Make sure they're positive and for you. And they're for you now and in the future. And now you can ask yourself, what other areas of life would you like to have this success now and in the future? And what can you do next now that you have these wonderful learnings? It's easy and effortless for you to answer these questions. And the more you do this, the more communication and the deeper rapport and trust you have with the unconscious mind. And it makes peak performance easy. Because it's all about having success over and over again in all areas of life. Good, you're doing excellent. Now there's something else that you can do. The feelings that you have when you have this success over and over. Think of this feeling and imagine it in your hand. Imagine this feeling in your hand, this positive, resourceful, empowering, intense feeling. What's the color of this feeling? What's the size? What's the shape? And what's even the texture and the material of it? And now that you have created this, locate somewhere in your body where you want to have this feeling. And before you put it there, you can squeeze it a couple times if you want to intensify it. And this feeling, you'll be able to access it any time in the future just by clenching your fist a couple times. So just put it in your body wherever you want it. And this will remind you to have success over and over. This will remind you can create peak performance over and over. Good. So now you have all of these suggestions in your unconscious mind. And remember, they're only a click of a button away. They're stored there so you can achieve peak performance at any time in the future. Any time you want, you can, because you deserve it. You can do whatever it is you want because you have the energy of a peak performer. You see yourself as a peak performer. You sound like a peak performer. You feel like a peak performer. And you believe you are. And whenever you want to build that belief and that feeling, just squeeze your fist a couple times and think of where you put that feeling, that resourceful, empowering emotion in your body. Anytime in the future you want success, you just squeeze your hand a couple times and focus on where that feeling is in your body. And I'm sure it feels pretty good, doesn't it? Focus on your breathing. Really focus on those big, deep breaths that you created earlier. That's really all you have to do to access the supercomputer. Close your eyes, focus on a few big, deep breaths, and design what you want. And listen to this session, this hypnosis, for peak performance as many times as you want. And you're going to be using that thinking time, that designing time, to get what you want every day, and the next day, and the days after that, the weeks after that, the months after that, years after that, decades, however long. And success will become easier and easier, more easy and more effortless. All you have to do is hold that business meeting with your unconscious mind and ask it, how can I achieve this easily and effortlessly? And then tell it to deliver the results. In a moment, I'm going to count up from 1 to 5. And at 5, you can open your eyes, return to the room, and enjoy the rest of your day or evening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right. You learned so much, and you have the resources to succeed even more. So enjoy the rest of your day or evening.